Hi everybody, thank you for joining us today. My name is Coach Njogu. I am a transformation mindset coach. I'm all about mindset, all about changing mindset. I want us to go beyond how we think. I want us to grow as we grow our mindset, and that begins by thinking outside the box, thinking beyond the box, by changing the patterns of how we do things. And that is why we're here today to unpack the topic, how do I shift my mindset? So before we begin, I will let my co-host to introduce herself, and then we can start the day's discussion. Over to you.
He- All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Joyce Loy. A lot of people refer to me as Dare to Glow Coach because all I do is help you glow from the inside to the outside. So, what do I do? I'm an women empowerment coach, mindset coach, entrepreneur, educator, a mentor, and I will keep saying I'm also being mentored because mentoring is part of all of us. And one of the things that I look forward to seeing in people's lives is transformation, change mindset. That's why we keep making topics about changing your mindset. And most of all, we are here to impact and add value to other people's lives out there, even if it's just one life. That is what we are here for. Back to
Very
you, Coach Ray.
Thank you. I forgot to mention I'm also a mentor because sometimes it's always good to work with people to give value back to the community. I am also being mentored and coached at the same time. So it is a circle. Let me call it a circle. So today we are going to talk about how to shift my mindset, or how do you shift your mindset. Mindset is who you are. Basically, mindset, when you talk about mindset, somebody says mindset is who you are. It's the core of who you are. It's how you behave and all that. So always we talk about mindset shift, but we thought this week it's wise if we discuss how do we shift the mindset, because I can tell you, Coach Jake, you know what, you need to shift your mindset, but I don't tell you how are you supposed to shift the mindset. That's why we thought that this week's topic is going to shed some more insights on anybody who is confused or anybody who does not understand what this concept of mindset shift is. So, being a gracious host, I will let you give your opening keynote and then give us your first point as well.
All right, I'm honored. So, just like Coach just said, we have been talking about mindset shifting mindset. And our topic today is very important to us, and I'm sure it's important to you out there who's watching. How do I shift my mindset? We
Mm-hmm.
have different mindsets. And like I always try to refer when I'm making videos, I try to mention the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. Where a growth mindset, you you accept change, you accept to grow, you accept whatever comes your way or even opportunities just to become better of who you are. While most cases, when you have a fixed mindset, you are stuck where you are. That's where you want to be. You just keep saying, oh, I will change, oh, I will do something about it, but you never do anything about the situation that you are complaining about.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that I'm going to say as my opening note is making personal development a priority for yourself.
Okay.
Changing your mindset or shifting your mindset is more of a personal, it's personal to me, it's personal to you, you know, because if you want to change your mindset, that means you want to be better at yourself. You want to be better around other people. You want to be better with your family, your friends, maybe your children, even maybe your workmates. So it's a personal development. So the moment you look at yourself and you're like, you know what? I want to shift my mindset from being in a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. it
Mm-hmm.
it should be personal to you. You shouldn't be doing it for anyone. You should be doing it for yourself. I shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be doing it for my husband. I shouldn't be doing it for my friend. I shouldn't be doing it for Coach Jay. I shouldn't be doing it for people around me. I should be doing it for myself because it's going to be beneficial to me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the opening note that I'm going to be saying is making personal development a priority for yourself
Mm-hmm.
will help you. Looking at it as a personal development for yourself, you will definitely it will definitely help you shift your mindset.
Okay.
Back to you, Coach Jay.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful. I always take notes because we don't get to discuss our points before our session. So I always like to take it.
That is true.
Because it's always a learning lesson. It's always time for us to learn, relearn, and unlearn, and all that. So, my first point on how we can shift our mindset is basically one word: action.
Yep.
Because if you don't take action, you cannot say you want to say, like, let's use the common example. You cannot say you want to lose weight and you don't want to do the due diligence of doing the push-ups or going for a run or going to the gym. So you might have the idea, you might know what you want, but if you don't take the action, your mindset will remain stuck from where you are. So you need to become proactive is the best word to use. Become proactive, you take action and go and do the push-ups, go and do the run, go and do whatever you want to do. That is how you begin. And you don't have to begin big, you don't have to begin at a higher scale. Start slow, because the more you move on a gradual steps, the more it gets implanted in your head. And there's something I was reading, it was saying that when you start to do something in small bits, don't skip more than 2 days, because the moment you skip more than 2 days, you automatically bounce back to your original behavior. So if you start, let's say you have a 21-day habit installation, day one, day two, and then day three, you're not feeling like, maybe you're unwell or you have something else to do. Okay, you can skip day three, day four. But if you skip like 5 days, then you might notice a pattern of you going down to back where you are. So take action and keep note of how you take action. Over to you.
Ah, that is interesting, Coach Jay. So, Coach Jay, I have a point almost the same as yours, which is do the dirty work yourself. For
Like
me,
that.
I have a belief every time I get to do something myself, I
Mm-hmm.
have this thing even around friends and around, I think because I'm an educator, that's why I look at life that way, that every time I want to learn something, every
Mm-hmm.
time I'm teaching someone something, that teaching part of me always comes out, or that part of me that is hands on
Mm-hmm.
is always part of me. I'm one believe, like I believe I have a phone, I have a note. The reason I bought my Samsung Note was to write notes using my pen,
Uh-huh.
because I'm a believer of writing. Like when I write something, I will not forget it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that one person. Whereas also typing, I don't forget because I'm putting thought to it. Writing, I'll not forget because it is taking much more time than if I was typing what I'm saying.
Yes.
So for me, just to go back to the main point, for me, I'm a believer of do the that work yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If, for example, you are at a workplace, you have employees, okay, they are that they've been given specific roles to do what they have to do. If it is
Mm-hmm.
not done, what do you do? Personally, I always get down and do it myself. So people who work for me or people I work with, actually,
Mm-hmm.
they know that if something is not done and they're supposed to get it done, I am going to do it myself. I know sometimes we can't do it all. That is the truth. But
Mm-hmm.
I try to get down there, like do the that yourself. Make sure you are able to change your mindset or shift your mindset to saying, oh, I can't do this. I have to always rely on people to do this. How about you learn? Like how we normally teach each other, Jay. Like we basically do things, you on the other side, I'm on this side, but we are doing it together. You're
Mm-hmm.
doing it, I'm doing it, and that's the only way we can learn.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, one thing I have learned is I am not going to tell you what to do. My work is to help you. My work is to facilitate you as a person, but I'm not going to tell you what to do unless we are on a friendly talk. If it's a friendly talk, I may advise and give you my insight on what I think. But that is another good example of do it yourself. You always have to put mind to something. The only
Mm-hmm.
way you can shift your mindset is not saying, oh, you know what? Joe will do it. Joe will do it. Joe will do it. When will you ever do it yourself? You'll be stuck in the same mindset, fixed mindset. of
Mm-hmm.
all the time. I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it. Oh, I'll do it. So for me, I'm a strong believer of do the dirty work yourself. And when I say dirty work, I don't mean getting into the soil and rolling yourself around. That's not what I mean. Yeah. I mean, if you want something done and someone is not getting it done that you expect, instead of fighting about it, get it
Mm-hmm.
done yourself. It makes life easier for yourself. Yeah.
That's a beautiful point, and it takes me back to 2017 when the job I had in 2017 when I was doing the interview. My employer back then told me, in this company, we don't hire people to do things for us. Here, I have one statement: if you want something done, do it yourself. So if you feel like this is a mess, don't wait for somebody else to come and clean that mess. You have to do the job yourself. Don't wait for anybody to do that. That's a very beautiful point. Has taken me back. So my next point goes in line with what you've said, and I will ask it and I'll say it in the form of a question. What is your relationship with journaling? Well, I describe journaling as a way of putting my thoughts in writing. And you can be old school like me, you just need a pen and a paper to write down, or you can be digital and you use a laptop, a tablet, or something. But either way, you're putting down something, you're writing down something. And Coach Jay, you're a witness. When you write something down, as you said before, there's always that revelation that comes to us. There's always that aha. You're able to put a pattern together. You're able to see a pattern in something. So when you start writing things down, when you make it a habit, there's something that develops in you, and you can always choose to use something that is called the mindset journal, which is something that specifically you put down your thoughts, and you're able to see if you're always negative about things, if you're always positive about things, if you are a combination of two. And that way, when you get that aha revelation for yourself, mostly it's recommended for like 6 months. Then after that, you can be able to decide, you know what, I think I'm more of a negative person, I need help, or I'm a positive person, I need to maintain this. So it's a way of you finding that aha moment for yourself. So, what is your relationship with journaling, or what is your relationship with putting your thoughts down? It doesn't matter whether you use a book or use a digital thing, as long as at the end of the day you write down, you're able to see your thoughts. Over to you, Coach Jay.
Ah, interesting. All right. The next point that I'm going to say is accept that change will happen with or without you.
Mm-hmm.
You see, some people forget that every time they stay in a fixed mindset, life still goes on. Like we are the same level, we started at the same level, but you want to stay there. And when I move, you keep saying, oh, she now forgot who we are. Well, because every time someone elevates their life, trust me, friends change
Mm-hmm.
because now this person is looking at being better than where she was. And the only way that can happen is by hanging around people that are better than him or her, or even hanging around people who are the same level, like that same person. So it becomes very hard to come back to you, to your level. You find yourself now you are complaining, you are hating, like some people call it. Maybe you still want to live in the past with that person. All you talk about that person is their past. You did
Mm-hmm.
this in the past. You were like this in the past. Those are fixed mindset people. So I'm going to read something that I did research about, and it says accept three things.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to accept three things, these are the things. Life is short,
Okay.
time is precious, and your ego is always in need of a shot of humility. Every idea has a life and an evolution. Like you always evolve. There is always evolution, whether you want it or not.
Uh-huh.
Things are going to evolve. That's why there is a year today. This year is 2022. Next year will be 2023. It doesn't care whether you move with it, you become better every year, or you want to be the same Joyce Loy every year, stuck in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Short story about myself. I have grown. I used to be this kind of a person who goes and works in a place, and I'm like, oh my God, 6 months later, I'm like, I'm done here. 6 months later, oh, I'm done here. Like, if I count the places I had to change workplaces, I would never get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it is something that I used to look at as so beautiful, but I got to realize it was both a beautiful thing and not a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't giving myself time to grow in the places I was. I would just keep moving. Better salary, like we know it, especially in these countries. Better
Mm-hmm.
salary, moving.
Move.
Someone finds me and says, "Oh, you work so well. My company needs someone like you. How much are you offering?" Oh, you're offering me 5,000 more than the place I'm working. Alas, I'm moving. I was that kind of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to realize it's a good thing and a bad thing. Why? Change is a natural and a necessary part of that life cycle. Yeah. The change will happen with or without you. Don't get in your own way. So how
Mm-hmm.
was I getting in my own way? For me, when I look at this situation, I wasn't really learning much from the places I was working because I was always looking at moving quickly. But when I started stabilizing and accepting that, you know what, I'm now in a new place, let me accept to grow there, let me accept the change around me. I started learning from people around me. I started enjoying what I do more. And I would spend 2 years and I'm like, wow, it's been
Oh.
2 years. But yeah, I still need to move. It's been 2 years, the contract is done, you know? So I'm still one person who doesn't settle for less. I always want more. I will not lie about that. I always want more. That's why I'm always up for something new. So since last year, I've been getting friends who are telling me, Joe, you know what, you do YouTube videos. We know you do YouTube videos, but how about you also do podcasts?
Mm-hmm.
And I was always thinking like, podcasts, YouTube video. This is a lot of work for me. And I'm still working out how to make it work, how to make both of them work. But now
Mm-hmm.
it's been 7 people telling me the same thing. 7 people telling me, you know what, Joe, I don't have time to sit down and watch YouTube videos, but I want to watch you. I want to hear you talk. I want to hear that valuable information you share. So how about you do a podcast? I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. I'll see. I'll get time. 2 years down the road. So this year, one of my friend came and said, Joe, please,
It's
some of
time.
us are now mothers. Some of us are now mothers. Like it's very hard to watch videos all the time. It's baby, it's work, it's husband, it's house chores. So please do something. And I'm like, okay, I think I have to really evolve. I need to evolve when it comes to these things. So I started my podcast just I think 2 days ago, and I'm really excited about it. It's not as easy as YouTube could be. It needs a lot of time, really. But I'm glad I've taken that step. So, what am I trying to say in this situation? Accept that change will happen with or without you. The new era is, yes, YouTube, but also podcasts. Like, not everyone has time to sit down and watch. Some people are in the car, they just want to listen to your voice. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are maybe working out, and your voice is what pushes them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was like, why not? Let me try this journey, because people out there doing it, and I don't know how crazy their lives are, but I'm sure they are doing it, and I can't. So life will go on with or without you. People will move on with or without you. Change will happen with or without you. What are you doing about it? So for me, that's one of the things that that really helped me a lot. When I always think about that, when I always think that, you know what, change is going to happen with or without me. Life is going to go on with or without me. What change am I bringing into this world?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my point, Jay.
I'm so proud of you because of the podcast. I saw it. I was like, yes, finally somebody's doing something about this, and it's all about mindset. Because 2 3 years ago, it was possible for you to do it, but because you had fixated your mind, it's a lot of work for you. Then you are not able to move beyond that. You are not able to, tell yourself, I like challenges. Why not do this? And now that you've started embracing the mindset shift because you're all in a journey, you came to realize that it's something that is workable. It just needs you to, reshuffle some things in your life for you to
Yeah,
get what you want. That was a
sure.
beautiful point. Um,
Thank you.
my next point is going to be, we are all unique. So you have to accept that you're unique in your own way. And once you start making that a reality, you'll stop comparing yourself with other people. One of the things that stops people in, embracing the mindset shift is comparison. And I always say comparison is the thief of joy. There,
Joy
oh, yes, of you.
of
there,
me.
there is competition. You can look at you can pay yourself with other, but you don't do it in a competitive way. I can look and see, oh, she did this, and then I look at what you've done and I see, okay, this is something I can adapt, this is something I can do, and I have my own reasons for doing that. But the moment I see you doing something and then I start getting jealous and then I start feeling like, you know what, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, you're already blocking yourself with what you're telling yourself. And you have to remember, I am Jane. I am unique. You are Joy. You are unique in your own way. And we can never be the same. When God created us, we are all different things on earth. So the moment we start comparing ourselves with other people, it steals our joy. And that is something I have seen. I have actually lived that. I remember back then I used to compare myself with other people. And it's limited my growth because whenever I wanted to do something, I've had ideas from way back. I stop because I'm like, I'm too scared. I'm not as good as so and so. And then I see somebody else has taken the same idea and done it, and they're thriving in that idea. And then again, I start feeling bad. Again, that takes time and all that. So the moment you break that barrier of feeling like you're not unique, you start blossoming like a butterfly. Over to you.
So you see, Jay, I keep telling people that we have the same topic, right? Right
Mm-hmm.
now. Even the
Mm-hmm.
topics we do here, they are the same. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You go look for the information you look for, I look for the information I look for, and we come here and talk about it. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
have we done? Collaboration instead of competition, you know?
Yeah.
I keep telling people there is no beauty in competition. Like, I've been the weirdest friend to people. I've been the weirdest, I think I'm the weirdest person even to myself, because I always tell myself there's no need to compete with myself.
Mm.
I just want to be better. So there's no need to compete with the person I was 5 years ago, because I'm not that person anymore.
Even
There's no
yesterday.
need for me to compete with Coach J. There's no need for me to compete with anyone, because they are who they are. I am who I am. They have their strength. I have my own strength. They have their own weaknesses. I have my own weaknesses. But you see, the thing is, we always look at people, and all we look at is, oh, she's winning at this, so I have to tear her apart for me to win. Are you kidding me? So for me, it's been the weirdest thing about me that I don't have time to compete with people. I don't even have time to compete with myself. I used to say, oh, the only person I compete with is myself. I started realizing I can't even compete with myself. Because
Mm-hmm.
1 minute I'm this, another minute I'm this. The person I was 2 weeks ago, I'm not the same freaking person. The person I
Mm.
was 6 months ago, you can never find that joy again. I'm not that joy anymore.
And
Completely a different person.
just before you give your next point, I just want to say that the moment you start comparing yourself with others, you lose time, and time is a currency. You're
True.
wasting time. You're losing. That's like it's like you're losing money when you're comparing yourself. Oh, so Joy started a podcast, and then I start criticizing it. I start thinking why I should have done that. Blah blah blah. I have lost an hour doing that, which is something I could have used to do something else. So back to you.
No, which you would have used asking me, oh, how did you get it done? Or how can we collaborate and actually make a podcast together? Or how,
Like,
you know, like, like I'm an educator, I won't lie to you. And these things happen with teachers, with people I work with. Someone sees something nice, instead of asking, they go ahead and they're like, I'm going to do better. And what time are they spending doing better, instead of saying, you know what, we can have the same thing in our classroom, but in different corners. We can have
mm,
the same thing in our classroom. Just copy and paste. Sometimes you just need copy and paste with these things.
we are
But some
told
people just want to compete, which is unnecessary.
it's complicating life.
Complicating life indeed. So my next point is going to be, humans like to filter. You build an identity of what you are told. Sometimes some
Mm-hmm.
people do that. And I was one of those people. I'll tell you a story about it when I'm done with this point.
Okay.
So, for example, when someone tells themselves, I'm not good at my finances because I'm not good at math. But
Mm-hmm.
where did this incident happen of that person saying they don't know or they are not good at math? It came from maybe their teacher. Their teacher in class told them, you're not good at math. And the whole year, like the whole year, the whole of their school time, this happened maybe in grade 4. Let me say grade 4, grade 3. But this child grows to become an adult, and all they know is I always fail at math. I
Mm-hmm.
can't even manage my finances because I'm not good at math.
Yeah.
Mindset. I'll give
Mm-hmm.
another good example. Events that happen to us in our lives when we are growing up, or things that happen every day, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we can do generalization. We've done that in NLP. You can do generalization, you can delete, distort the things that you hear.
Yes.
I'll give an example. Filter everything that doesn't look like a mechanic shop. For example, this is a good example that I want to give. I'm driving, yeah, and I feel like my car needs a mechanic because it's making some weird queer sound.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seated with Coach J in the car. Coach
Mm-hmm.
J is hungry. Coach J is freaking hungry. For me, who is driving the car, I'm
Mm-hmm.
concentrating on driving through the city looking for a mechanic shop so that
Mm-hmm.
I can get the car fixed. So I'm filtering out anything that is not a mechanic shop. While
Mm-hmm.
Coach J doesn't give a damn about what you're filtering out looking for mechanic shop. For her,
Mm-hmm.
she is looking for a restaurant. She is hungry. So the whole time you're driving, for her, she is looking for a restaurant. Behind is seated someone, another friend of ours. Let me give an example of Susan. Susan is sitting behind, and Susan wants to pee.
Mm-hmm.
Susan wants to pee so bad that she's also looking for a place to pee. I'm
Mm-hmm.
driving, mechanic issues, I'm looking for a mechanic shop. So I'm filtering anything that is not a mechanic shop. I don't want to look at it. Coach J is looking for a restaurant only. She wants to see only a restaurant, only a restaurant. She doesn't want to see mechanic shops. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't care. All she wants to find is a restaurant to eat because she is hungry. And
Mm-hmm.
the person behind is looking for a place to pee.
Yeah.
And a restaurant is one place to go to, even when you want to buy or you want to pee because they have a washroom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens? We are all in the same situation, but are looking at it differently. And that's when we put on our filters. So,
Mm-hmm.
what am I trying to say? Is situations we may be looking at them differently. We look at them differently. We are in it the same way, but we look at it differently because of our mindsets. Our mindset control what we see, how we feel. Like I say, generalization, you can generalize and say, oh, you know what, I was raised in such a way that I'm not supposed to do this and that. And every time something of that kind happens, you filter it out. You're like, I don't want to do that because I was raised not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But is it true? Maybe it's not even true, but you just want to filter it out, you know?
Yes.
So people are meant that way. So, what can you do about it, you as a person? Once your mindset changes, everything on the outside, this is something I'm going to say as a reminder. Once your mindset changes,
Mm-hmm.
everything on the outside changes along with it. When your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give an example. If you have a successful mindset, you are going to live a successful life. Not because you are successful, not because you have all the money in the world, not because you have the cars, not because you can travel anytime you want to travel, but it's because of the the successful mindset you have. So everything you see around you, you look at it as you look at it abundantly. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have it yet, but you know I can have it. I
Mm-hmm.
will have it because success starts with your mindset. Yeah.
Very,
So for me, I'm a believer of it starts with you. So where am I going to go to right now? I'm going to go to a story, but at the end of it, back to you, Jay. I'll give the story at the end. Back to you.
I'll sure remind you to give us that story.
You definitely will.
Very true. When you put it in the concept of how we look, how we filter things, so one thing that has come in my mind is back to the other point you made about everybody being unique. So in that situation where we were all three in the car, all of us were right, but in our own ways. And that is how things happen in this world. When you start comparing yourself with other people, you're losing out on things. Everybody is right in that situation, only that the timing of each person might be off to the next person, but nobody's wrong there. So my next point is again another concept of NLP, visualization. How do you start doing the mindset shift? You have to see where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to start acting towards it? It is like so a visualization, for somebody who doesn't know, it's a representation of a situation. I want to lose weight. I'll start seeing myself with that body that I want. It becomes my mental image of what I want. And then after that, what happens? I start working towards that because my mind is programmed. It's like you're feeding your mind with seeds. It's like planting seeds. Let's call it planting seeds. Because I already know what I want. I start planting the seeds. My mind is already programmed with what I want. And eventually, before I know it, I have reached my destination. Over to you.
Very true. How do you know if you're operating under a lie, a red flag, I can't, I don't, or I'm not? You
Mhm.
know, there are people who have those phrases in their life. I can't, I don't, I'm not. Okay. Why do you have this? Because you have limiting beliefs.
Mhm.
The moment you name your limiting beliefs, the moment you name those things that, oh, I can't. Let me give an example. You gave an example of writing. Let me say writing, simple for people to understand. You write, and you have been told by your coach the only way you're going to improve your life is by writing the things that you want to accomplish in a day.
Mhm.
Before you sleep, write the things down that you're going to accomplish tomorrow. And if you can move with that notebook, take the things, take them through. Oh, I've done this, I've accomplished this. There's celebration in accomplishing something.
Very true.
Think whatever you've accomplished. Every time you tick it, for me, every time I tick it, I feel I've accomplished. It's not much. It's not like I've accomplished my vision board. I've
Mhm.
accomplished the things I was supposed to do that day. Now here comes Nancy. She has been told the only way you can stop the limiting beliefs of I can't, I don't, I'm not is by writing down the things you are going to accomplish just the next day. Not the whole week, but just the next day. It's
Mhm.
Monday, the things you're going to accomplish on Tuesday. Nancy doesn't do it. Nancy says, I can accomplish my day without writing down anything.
I am
What
an in.
happens to Nancy? Nancy goes back to the coach and says, there is nothing I've gotten done. I have nothing done. Every time I try to do things, I don't accomplish them. The coach tells her, we had a plan for
Mhm.
you to write down the things you're going to accomplish the next day. Did you do it? Nancy, I don't need to do it because I remember everything I need.
Mhm.
Oh, so if you can remember everything that you wanted to do, how
Mhm.
come you didn't get it done? All right. So Nancy, what do you want us to do today? What do you want us to do about your problem today? The fact, the fact is I can't. But can you? Yes, I can. What are we
Mhm.
going to do about it? Create new beliefs.
Mhm.
create new beliefs. Nancy, are you ready to create new beliefs? Yes. So, Nancy, this is what we are going to do. Write down only 3 things you're going to accomplish the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Forget all the other things you're going to do. Maybe you're going to do 10 things, but only write down 3 things for that day. And get back to me after 2 days. Nancy's like, okay, I will do it. This time she did not say, I can't.
I
I
can.
don't have time to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
will remember. She said, I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She goes away. She takes the sheet, the day sheet of what she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy did not write 3 things. Nancy wrote down 5 things she was going to do the next day. Nancy did all the things she was going to do that day. She wrote them down and she accomplished 4 of them, one not accomplished. She did the same thing the next day. 5
Mm-hmm.
accomplished the next day, and Nancy is happy. Yes, yes, I've accomplished it. Oh, yes, coach was right. Yes, coach was right that I can achieve things when I write them down.
Mm-hmm.
I can write down what I'm going to do and I will do it. And I can. She goes to the coach after 2 days. And the coach told her, how did it go? Oh, coach, I'm so happy. Why are you happy? Oh, coach, I was able to write down 4 things. I was able to write down 5 things. And I'm even going to write more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited. Why? Because I'm able to achieve them. Okay. So have we accomplished our goal? Yes. Why? Because we created new beliefs. We stopped the beliefs of I can't, I don't, I won't, I'm not, I'm not, to I can, I will. I will do my best. I will try. And Nancy was happy. So sometimes we tell ourselves lies. They
Mm-hmm.
become our beliefs, they become part of our mindset. This is my story. My personal lie that I had to find out myself was I used to tell myself, I am not good at remembering names. That is what I told my mindset. I am not good at remembering names. It was a freaking lie because it had a solution that I wasn't doing or I wasn't actually working out. How? Year in, year out, I get students.
Mm-hmm.
Term one, I'm like, oh, which student is this? Oh, sit down. Oh, sit down, my friend. That is the word I was always using in my classroom. Sit down, my friend. Sit down, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I was tasked by one of the heads of department. One of the heads of department told me when I came to your classroom, I noticed that you use my friend with your students. Why? I told her, I'm not good with names. I can't remember students' names. She told me, Miss Joy, that is not true. It is a lie. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "No, it's not a lie. I just can't remember students' names. There are so many. I have 30 students. How do you think I'll remember them?" This woman told me, you can remember the students, and I'm tasking you in the next 2 weeks to remember all the 30 names of those students. What happened? I had to write the names of the students on we call it a table slide and put it
Mm-hmm.
on their tables. So when I go to a specific table and I'm talking to the student, I say their name. I don't say my friend anymore. I say their name. Hello, Muhammad. Yes. Can you say this? Fatima, please. I always mention their name. Before
Mm-hmm.
I knew, I did not just one name, but I would call them by 2 names.
Oh.
Because I would get a classroom with Muhammad Said, with Muhammad Khalifa, with Muhammad. You
Really?
have 3 Muhammad Saids. So you have to learn the other third name. They have five names. So you have to learn Muhammad Saeed Abakar or like when she came back after 2 weeks to observe
She was
how
in
I was with the names, she was
pain.
like, it was a lie.
Eh,
And she told me, are you proud of yourself now? I was like, am I proud of myself? I'm so, I'm so I'm so excited about what I have learned about myself. Like it's super. Like this is not me. This is someone else, you
mm,
know? And for me, Jay, over the years, I learned my students' names the first week of school. I know them by name. I know them by eyes. I know them by nose with their masks on. They move to the next class. I find them in corridors and I still say their names. And I'm like, what is this freaking lie I was telling my mindset? It is a lie. Anything you tell yourself that you can't,
mhm.
that you don't, that you won't, is a lie to yourself. Anyone who's watching right now. Until you change that, or until you accept that it's a problem and you want to change it, you cannot shift your mindset. That's the
Very.
only thing I can tell you. You can only shift your mindset if you accept that it is a lie. Yes, for me, I was exposed. I was exposed
Mm-hmm.
and I had to accept because it had gone on for a long time. Me saying, oh, I don't know their names. Oh, I can't, I'm not good at names. I can't remember people's names. I'm terrible with names. I realized it's because I wasn't interested in getting to know their names. It's as simple as that. I wasn't interested and I was telling myself a lie. My mindset. And my mindset took it. Oh, we can't remember. We can't remember names. We,
You've used the word I wanted to use, interest. Interest is the other thing that normally blocks us. Because if you lack interest in something, even putting that extra effort to, become even creative, like you became creative by putting the names on the table. And the moment you continue reciting the names, you become better at it. And now, even after 3 years, you'll meet a student even outside and you're like, oh, hey, I remember you. Because you made the effort, you had the interest to learn. And that's where the disconnect comes when people want to develop a growth mindset or shift of
and
mindset.
that's it. Yeah.
You want to do something, but you don't have the interest to do it. They don't go together. And while you're talking, I remembered a quote from Napoleon Hill, and where he stated that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. So if you believe you cannot master names, what happens?
You will
That will
never master them.
it just becomes your reality. And then Henry Ford also stated that it's coming to me. He stated that if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
You're right.
So in your own way, when you said you cannot learn the names, you were very right. But when you started telling yourself, I can learn the names, that's a
I
totally
was touched. I was touched, my friend. You either learn those names in 2 weeks or you're fired. Of course, it's a lie. I'm joking. But you know how someone ahead of you or like your boss tells you to do something. So what happens? Pressure, you become creative, you
you
know?
have to become creative. And that's how you learn that most of the things, they're just our minds. It's just
Very
it's
true.
it's just here. We're just thinking like, you know what, I can't. And that's why I always say every morning when I wake up and I'm doing my morning affirmations, I always say, today I will wow myself with how I learn new things. What have I done there? I'm programming my mind, no matter what comes my way, no matter what I'm supposed to do, as hard as it might sound, I'm motivated to learn how I'm going to do this thing. I'm motivated to understand how this thing is done. Okay, I might try and not get the desired results, but I have learned something along the way when I'm trying, when I'm doing that process. Last week, we were talking about the process, why the process matters. So, as I do something, for example, you give me a project, I don't know how to do that project, I've never done that in my life, I will not tell you no. I will first try, see what I can do. And then I remember my mentality of today, I will wow myself with how I learn new things. Who doesn't want to wow themselves? Nobody. You want to do it. So my next point is bravery. Often we don't start something new because We lack the bravery. We are scared of what people will say, or how, like initially you had mentioned about people telling you you have changed. So we don't want to lose that circle of friends. We lack that courage. We lack that courage, to become better in our lives. So we want to change, but that block is still there. We don't want to move. We don't want to move a notch higher. So, like today, I saw something on Pinterest, and it says, "Be brave enough to suck at something today, or be brave enough to be something new that people don't even understand." Have that courage for you to be different. Have that courage for people to say, "You know what? Coach Jay has changed." But you know that you had to block that mentality for you to become a better person, for you to improve in your life. Over to you, Coach Jay.
I think I'll do my closing, and my closing will be one thing: do not limit yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because everything you tell your mind, that is what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell yourself, my affirmation every morning, every day for the last how many, almost now 5 years, is I'm blessed to be a blessing to others. That is my affirmation. So everything I do, I know I am blessed to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I am blessing to others.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be being an educator to the kids that I educate. Let it be to the adults that I mentor. Let it
Mm-hmm.
be to people that mentor me. I'm a blessing to them and they are a blessing to me. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's my mindset. That has been my mindset for the 5 years that I started the journey of changing my mindset to be better, because the only way you can get better at things, or the only way you can get at the level you want to get as a person, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever level you want, because when you look at success, it's a goal. It's where you want to reach. If you
Yeah.
want to reach at a second level, that is where your success will reach. So when you
Mm-hmm.
reach second level, you're successful. Another person wants to reach level 5, that's where they are successful. Other people want to reach infinity, so they work towards infinity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when it's infinity, that means you're double, you're triple extra on what other people do. You want to do more and more and more, but
Mm-hmm.
again, less is more. So my affirmation is, I'm a blessing to be a blessing to others. So yours can be blessed to be a blessing. It can be anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Coach Jay also have your own affirmation, and it's good to have an affirmation and live by it, because it helps you go throughout the day, not forgetting who you are, not forgetting why you actually awake, why you woke up, because some people don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So change your mindset, and trust me, a lot will change in your life. You'll be surprised at how people will tell you, you've changed. Don't make you start hearing that word, just you
You're on the
have
wrong.
reached a certain level of your life. Clap for yourself, clap at yourself, you know. Say, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear the word you have changed, that means you have grown, my friend.
Very true.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful affirmation. There was a book I was reading, and they said that when you start manifesting blessings on other people, they always come back to you. Even when you spend money that you have earned, when you go and pay for something, when you bless money and say, "I hope the final person who receives this coin that I give, it will be a blessing to them." It just makes a difference in your life. My affirmation since November 2021, it has been "Dare to be brave." And I tell you, the last couple of months, oh, I cannot start describing that. So, my other point is as basic as listening to empowering podcasts, listening to people motivating, like people speaking motivational words, because what happens when you listen to these things, they uplift your moods. When you listen to somebody telling you, like there's one I normally listen in the morning, it says, "Go after the life you want. It is a must." That already implants something in my mind. And they go on and say, "Consistency is the name of the game." If you want to play that game, if you want to be successful, if you want to reach the infinity level, you have to be consistent. So that is something when you listen to this empowering podcast, when you watch this, maybe on YouTube, you watch empowering things, somehow you might not capture the whole content, but one thing is going to speak to you. That's why you always say one shoe does not, like one size does not fit all. in this video we are making today, in this live we are doing today, we're speaking for almost an hour. Oh God, yes, an hour. But not everybody is going to capture everything we've spoken about, but there's one thing that is going to sink in somebody and it's going to make a difference in their lives. So make it a habit to listen to empowering podcast once in a while, if not every day. Create that time. And then the other thing Coach Joy had mentioned about guarding your mind. Whatever you speak, the should, I should have not, and all those words, keep them away from you because they are becoming your limiting blocks. And then finally, I would say be mindful when you think objectively and subjectively. I'm sure you've heard those words. Some you're so objective, you're so subjective. When you are subjective to things, you're thinking influenced by your personal feelings. When you are objective, it's attached to facts. It's attached to facts. For example, if I say it's raining, or I say I love it when it rains. When you say I love it when it rains, all your emotions they change. Another example I can give, I have to go to the gym. There's so much weight in have. What is have? Have just makes you think, "Oh, should I go to the gym?" It gives you that option of weighing, like, should I not? Instead, you can say, I love how my body feels when I go to the gym. And that automatically it makes you want to go wherever to the gym. Another example, I have to go to work. Again, have gives you that mentality that, well, if I had a choice, I'll never have gone, blah, blah, blah. What if you change that statement and said, I enjoy taking the free coffee at work? What happens? You want to go to work. There's that thing that is motivating you to go to work. And it's worth, I have to say this, that objective statements sometimes they come in handy. For example, Coach J, if you're going to launch something together, if I use subjective, I'm using my feelings, it's not going to have the authenticity of two minds coming together. So whenever you're working with a group of people, be mindful of if you're using subjective or objective thoughts. If you're doing personal assessment or personal things, subjectives they're more better because they give you that motivation to go somewhere, they give you that motivation to move and all that. So my last quote will be from, everybody knows, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump said, you can think small or you can think big. If you're thinking already, you might as well think big. It is your choice to think. Whatever choice you make, whether you think small or big, it's up to you. Coach Joy, your closing remarks?
All right. My closing remark is going to be whatever you tell yourself,
Mhm.
you become. Whatever you tell yourself, you become. As
Mhm.
simple as that.
That's beautiful. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our weekly live. Thank you so much to all those who are joining us. Um, if you're going to watch it after, maybe on Facebook or on our YouTube channels, we hope this content brings value to your life. We hope, because our goal is to bring value, our goal is to empower, our goal is to make a difference in our communities. So we believe that it's not an easy job, I have to say. We are juggling between our jobs and preparing content. It's a lot of things, but we are looking at the outcome, what we want. We hope it brings value to somebody, touches somebody to start thinking outside the box or to start developing the growth mindset. Because when you grow, we also grow. That's how the name of the game goes. So that's it from us today. As Coach Jay always says, stay safe.
Stay blessed.
Yes, take one day at a time and remember to include fun in whatever you do, because when you have the mentality of fun, things start becoming easier for you. But if you're restricting yourself, you start having the blocks in your mind. So we shall see you guys next week. I think it will be on the 28th. Always you're having the weekly, we call them the weekly dates on Wednesdays.